Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Independent and Dependent Variables. That's right, in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about how the value of y depends on what the value of x is. And like any good cooking show, we have prepared the value of x ahead of time. The value of x is 5. So if x is 5, what is the value of y? So let's go ahead and plug that in. Y equals 3 times 5, because remember we're replacing that x with a 5, and we know that 3 times 5 is 15. So it's safe to say that when x is 5, the value of y will be 15. Let's try another example. What is the value of y if x is 10? So we're going to replace this x with a 10. Let's go ahead and rewrite this. So y equals 7 times 10. And we know that 7 times 10 is 70. So it's safe to say that when x is 10, the value of y with this particular equation would be 70. Let's keep it going. What is the value of y if the value of x is 6? Well, let's plug in our 6 over here for x. So we have y equals 4 times 6. And we know that 4 times 6 is going to be 24. So it's safe to say that the value of y is 24 when the value of x is 6 with this equation. Let's do another one. All right, what if I have 15 for the value of x? What is the value of y? Let's plug it in real quick. So y is going to equal 2 times 15. And we know that 2 times 15 is going to be 30. So we can accurately say that if x is 15, the value of y will be 30 with this particular equation. Let's do another one. What if we have a funky looking one like this? What if we say the value of x is 8? What do we do about this big old equation here? Well, we just plug in 8 for x and then evaluate. So y equals whatever 8 times 8 is, because remember we're substituting the 8 for the x, increased by 4. And now we can just evaluate 8 times 8, fell on the floor, picked it up, and it was 64. And that leaves us with 64 plus 4, which means that the value of y is going to be 68. So in review, when x is 8, the value of y with this particular equation will be 68. Let's do one more for good measure, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a few more because it's good practice. Of course, you can pause the video anytime you want to try these on your own. What if we have a value of 5? In this particular case, what would the value of y be if we replace the x with a 5? Well, let's go ahead and figure that out, shall we? Okay, so y equals whatever 3 times 5 minus 10 is. We know that 3 times 5 is 15, and that leaves us 15 decreased by 10, which means y is going to be 5. So it's accurate to say that when x is 5, the value of y will also be 5. And finally, let's do this one real quick. What if we have a value of 6 for x? Well, I can simply plug in my 6, so y equals whatever 3 times 6 is, increased by 4. And we know that 3 times 6 is 18, and that leaves us 18 plus 4 is the value of y. We know that 18 plus 4 is going to be 22. So it's accurate to say that when x is 6, the value of y would be 22 with this particular equation. I know I keep trying to end the video, but let's get to at least 10 examples. Hopefully that'll be helpful and provide you some practice. What if the value of x is 4 with this particular equation? Let's go ahead and plug in our 4. So y equals 5 times 4 decreased by 3. Now, we know that 5 times 4 is 20, which leaves us 20 minus 3, and we know that 20 minus 3 is 17. So it's safe to say when the value of y is 4, well then when the value of x, the value of x is 4, then the value of y is 17. Da, 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 da. All right, 2 more. I promise. 2 more and then we're done. Let's give this one a try. What if I make the value of x 5? Well, I simply plug in 5 for my x's, which means I have 10 times 5 decreased by 32. Now, I know that 10 times 5 is going to be 50, so y now equals 50 decreased by 32. And I know that 50 decreased by 32 is going to be 18. So y equals 18. Thus, I can accurately say that when the value of x is 5, the value of y, with this particular equation, will be 18. And finally, we come to our last example. What if the value of x is 15? Well, in this particular equation, let's plug it in. Y equals whatever 3 times 15 decreased by 13 is. And I know that 3 times 15 is 45, which leaves me 45 minus 13, and I know that 45 minus 13 is 32. Y equals 32. Totally didn't use a calculator for that. Well, I think this is the end of our video. We can accurately say that if the value of x is 15 in this particular equation, the value of y is going to be 32. Anyways, I do hope that you had a good time with this and that you understand that the value of y depends on the value we give x.